SolarWinds, as you may know, is one of those names in IT that just keeps showing up, and for good reason. SolarWinds has played a critical role in the industry since 1999. What they built over more than 2 decades is a portfolio of simple, powerful, secure observability and IT management software that actually helps organizations move faster. Let me introduce CEO Sudhakar Ramakrishna and CTO Krishna Sai. Hi team. We've got a lot of ground to cover, but before we get into it, Sudhakar and Sai, why don't you take a second to introduce yourselves in your own words.
Hello everyone, I'm Sudhakar Ramakrishna, CEO at SolarWinds. Sai?
I'm Krishna Sai, I'm the Chief Technology Officer at SolarWinds.
When it comes to AI, where do you think the biggest gap right now is between what's possible and what enterprises are actually able to execute on?
If you think about what makes AI effective, AI is a multiplier. It multiplies your foundations. And if your foundations are choppy or brittle, then you're not going to get the ROIs that you expect. This is where I think we have a very unique opportunity as SolarWinds in building solutions that is grounded on the heritage of observability, incident response, service management, and the breadth and width of observability into workloads that we have.
When you implement and adopt AI, it is not simply a matter of getting a new tool and force-fitting it into your current environment. It's important to understand its power and change the workflows, change the business processes, change the behaviors to leverage the tool fully, just as we would with any new tool that has come in history.
What does it actually take an organization to be ready to scale AI?
So we have an opportunity to take a step back in the enterprise and look at the enterprise AI stack. Are we chasing the latest and greatest AI models, or are we organizing our enterprise AI stack with the right layers around reasoning, around data, around execution, policy, and see how they weave together and wire together to create a comprehensive value proposition for teams?
What do each of you see the most important, meaningful impacts of AI on the enterprise IT world over the next year be? And adding to that, what is it that genuinely sets SolarWinds apart in this moment?
So AI, particularly this year, is shifting from being an assistive technology to a technology that can actually drive autonomous outcomes, granted, with the right level of guardrails and human assist. And if you think about it, the model is just the brain. What makes it useful and multiply in its value is the harness around it, the agentic harness, what we call as the components of an agentic AI, the runtime, the memory, the context. All of this is what we're factoring into our own thinking with our SW1 agentic AI teammate, which essentially takes the goals of an IT and ops professional and converts them to outcome-oriented agentic workflows in areas where they really matter.
I believe a judicious use of AI, such as the ones that you described with SW1, will improve these dimensions for enterprises by an order of magnitude, if not 2 orders of magnitude.
What should business leaders actually be doing right now with that insight when it comes to how their IT talent is directed right now?
The business leaders always had this aspiration that IT personnel and, broadly speaking, their enterprise support personnel wanted to be orchestrated or needed to be orchestrators. However, the tools that they had at their disposals, the challenges that I mentioned around complexity, lack of capability, or enough talent, caused them to be operators and being in the here and now versus thinking about the needs of the organization for the future.
I want to ask you about a move that's signaled something pretty significant. SolarWinds recently went private with Turn River. What does that unlock for the company, and does it tell us something about where SolarWinds is headed?
The express purpose of us going private is to help accelerate growth and innovation. Through the efforts of our team, like the SW1 that you just mentioned. We are super excited about some of the new innovations we are bringing to market at a pace that has not yet been seen in the industry.
Sudhakar and Krishna, this has been a great conversation. Team, thank you so much for joining us here on this special AI episode of Tech Impact. And if you want to dig deeper into what we talked about today, head over to solarwinds.com. That's solarwinds.com, or log on to techimpact.tv.